Evening. It's been a busy few days in the N-Power Football League. Reading are on the verge of a multi-million-pound Russian takeover. John Coleman is staying at Accrington after turning down talks with Rochdale. And after a 13-month break, Mark McGee's back in management, this time with Bristol Rovers. Today, though, it was down to the football to make the headlines, including the possibility of a new name at the top of the Championship. And we'll see whether West Ham managed to get the point they needed in the company of Steve Claridge. Well, here's a glimpse of what else is coming up on the show tonight. Middlesbrough fluffed their lines last week when they had the chance to go third. Borough had a shot at redemption today at the Rico against a Coventry side desperate for a win. Birmingham City hit 6 away to Millwall last week, then dumped Wolves out of the FA Cup. The Blues are also upwardly mobile in the league, and today they faced Watford. In League One, no prizes for guessing the game of the day, as Charlton took on Sheffield United as first met second. We'll bring you the best of the action from the Valley. And in League Two, forget goal of the season. How about this as the rant of the season? Don accused Paolo Di Canio of being anything other than passionate. Hopefully you'll have calmed down by now. We start tonight in East London because with Southampton not playing until Monday, joint leaders West Ham are looking to finally put some daylight between them and the Saints and end the day top of the table for the first time this season. For that to happen, they needed at least a point against a struggling Nottingham Forest side. Well, we sent Clem along to Upton Park to see how the Hammers got on.
West Ham's relegation from the Premier League last May was a rude awakening for all concerned. A host of established players followed manager Avram Grant out of the door as the club attempted to balance their precarious finances. But 8 months on, the signs are that the corner may have been turned. Accounts published this week reveal a substantial fall in West Ham's debts. And on the field, under Sam Allardyce, so far, so good. You about where you expected to be?
Yeah, I think everybody expected us to be there or thereabouts, and at this time of the year to have had probably our worst run in December in terms of results and injuries, suspensions. To find ourselves going into the mid to late January with equal points on Southampton is really good for us.
Morning, Jack. Everybody in good nick?
Yeah, I think so.
A big day, isn't it?
Yeah, not wrong for top of the league, mate.
Good. Big day today.
Yeah, always, mate, always.
What's the mood amongst the fans?
Optimistic, I think. Optimistic, having beaten Portsmouth away last week. And, joint top of the league, I think everyone's happy.
At the start of the season, I'd have been happy with playoffs because carrying on from last season, all the negativity and everything, he's turned it around really quickly, I think.
Everybody's really excited because we think today's going to be the big one. Top of the Championship today.
And so to the thorny old issue of West Ham's style of play. Schooled on the fine footballing arts of Moore, Brooking and Di Canio, how are the locals coping with the current generation?
I've been coming here many years. I travel a long way to come here and I want to be entertained. Not a scrappy 1-0 win or going 1-0 up and sitting back for the rest of the game and hoping the other side doesn't score. And that's what seems to be happening in a lot of games.
We like a bit of touch and go, sometimes a bit of long ball, but if it gets the results, that's all that matters. I'm happy with a 1-0 win all the way to get back to the Premier League and then look forward.
We always want more. That's West Ham for you.
I mean, football for me, obviously I played under John Lyon, Billy Bonds, and it was the way West Ham want to play. The ball's in the air a lot at the moment, but as we said, at the end of the day, I don't care as long as we win, as long as we get promoted.
Has the so-called West Ham way ever permeated how you do things, or are you very much your own man?
Nobody's played the West Ham way for years anyway. So I don't know why people keep going about it, because all they've been doing is losing and then getting...
Does it annoy you, Sam? Does it annoy you?
Well, not really, because if somebody told me that West Ham played to lose, then I can understand that, if that's the West Ham way, because that's all the club's been doing over the last 2 or 3 years. I have seen 22, 23 players leave this football club since the end of last season. and then to incorporate 14 or 15 new players. And you know, I can wave a magic wand pretty well, but I can't wave two magic wands, in one in this hand and one in that one, and produce great football immediately.
I've got your supply down here, mate. You're going to get through all that lot in the game?
I have about 3 or 4
packets or pieces
a day, a game, 3 or 4.
Well, if Sam Allardyce thought victory would be sweet, he soon lost that taste as Nottingham Forest made the early running. They should have gone ahead, but Marcus Tudgay couldn't quite hit the target. Before this one, Forest had picked up just 16 from a possible 48 points under Steve Cotterill. They had keeper Lee Camp to thank for keeping them in it. This fine reaction save denying Jack Collison. The Hammers continued to press, and on the stroke of half-time their persistence paid off. Guy Moussi handled Collison's cross, and they had a penalty. Mark Noble stepped up for the 5th time this season to drill home from the spot and edge West Ham closer to the top of the league. After the break, Forest stopper Camp again showed his agility. This stunning save from substitute Henry Lansbury, keeping the advantage to a single goal. West Ham beat Forest in the reverse fixture back in August and looked to be heading for another 3 points here when they were awarded a second penalty. Chris Gunter the culprit this time as he handled George McCartney's cross. Noble again took responsibility to put the game out of sight. Deep into stoppage time, the visitors did manage a goal of their own, and it was a cracker. Lewis McGugan thrashing home to reduce the deficit. But it wasn't enough as West Ham go top for the first time this season.
Big result, mate.
Yeah, delighted. Obviously, 2 penalties. Noel's done fantastically well on them. You know, kept his composure. But you know, a win's a win. We've had to battle it out. Teams come here, they raise the game. We know that. Forest did well today, but I think we deserve the win in the end, really.
Yeah, so a significant day for West Ham. I know some of the fans aren't so happy with the style of play, but importantly, they're top of the league tonight, Steve.
Yeah, I think that might just have to take a little bit of a back seat with regard to getting results and getting out of this division, because there's big pressure on them. It doesn't matter what anybody says. Expectation is that they need to get out, and they need to get out this season. So, you know, you'll have to pardon them not maybe playing the free-flowing football that everybody wants at times, but they're getting results, and if they carry on the way they are, they'll be in the Premiership next year.
Was there a bit of luck involved with that first penalty decision? Was this harsh on Forest?
I think we've got a perfect example of a penalty that hits your hand, ball hits the hand, and you've got one that the hand hits the ball. And I mean, it's a perfect example. This is not a penalty. There's very little that Guy Moussi can do. It's hammered straight at him from 3 or 4 yards. You can't get out of the way. I don't see how you can get your arm out the way when you're trying to block something like that. Your feet are off the ground. You're trying to balance yourself.
Yeah, very well done to West Ham. And our thoughts, by the way, to their 17-year-old academy player Dylan Tombides in his battle against cancer. Well, one of the teams chasing the Hammers and Southampton is Middlesbrough.